Today we're going to be going into a topic I'm so beyond excited to talk about, and that is Alien Isolation. More specifically, an Alien Isolation sequel that is reportedly in development, early development, I should say, with the original director returning, according to this article from GameSpot.com. And if that's the case, then I just have to say, I mean, let's go. Let's go. Like, the original Alien Isolation was a horror masterpiece in my eyes. I love that game. I remember when it released 10 years ago. I remember vividly being in high school, fresh into high school, being a little baby. I still am a little baby when it comes to horror games, but, being more close to an actual prepubescent child. That game terrified me. And I have such fond memories of watching my favorite streamer, like YouTubers, play that. Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, the Rad Brad. Watching them play that was just, oh my god. I watched them play that before I could play it. And I had the game day one. So it tells you how much of a bitch I was. Because, I begged my mom for it. It was at the time when the Xbox One was, becoming very big. And they had the big Kinect push. So with Alien Isolation, part of the marketing was like, if you make a sound in your room, it's going to hear you. If you have your connected. Sorry, I can't talk. That was one of the big pushes of the game. And one of the big draws for a lot of people was like, oh shit, so I could be sitting in my room, and if I get scared and I make a yelp, like, Ripley does in the game, then the alien can hear that. That's so cool. And honestly, it was an awesome idea. It was great. I think they did a great job with that. Everything from the atmosphere down to the AI for the alien, which, can we just say, like, 10 years ago? 10 years ago, for an AI to be that advanced is kind of crazy. Like, that does not just happen. And it would learn your behaviors. So, like, for example, if you hide in lockers a lot, like I did, if you hide in lockers a lot, alien's gonna know. It's gonna find out, and it's gonna get your ass. Or if you use noise distractables a lot, for example, it's gonna figure that out, and it's gonna know, okay, I'm being distracted right now, so I'm gonna go the opposite direction. And it's going to get you. Like, it's truly a difficult game to beat, especially if you're not just playing it on easy mode. And it's one of those games I wish I played it my first time, or I wish I streamed it my first time playing it, because it was so much fun. I recently played the Dead Space remake thanks to my wife buying me a copy. And I thought that was so much fun, but I never grew up on Dead Space. I never had that initial impression with Dead Space. So when I played that, it gave me a lot of Alien Isolation vibes. And I just think Alien Isolation was a criminally underrated game. Because while it was successful to a certain extent, it could have been, and should have been, much more successful. I remember specifically IGN giving it like a 6 or like a 5 or some shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, and then it's kind of funny because, now I see IGN comes out and says, like, Alien Isolation 10 years later, an underappreciated masterpiece. It's like, wow, that's rich. That's funny coming from you guys. Like, you shit on it. You shat on it when it came out, and now you're like, oh, it's an underappreciated hidden gem. It's like, no, you don't get to say that. But either way, part of the thing with Alien Isolation was like, it's been 10 years. Fans of the series, of the game, never thought a sequel would come. So let's get into this article. From George Yang. It says the creative director of Alien Isolation, AI Hope, has announced a sequel to the horror game. He shared Al Hope, sorry, AI. I got AI on the brain. Shared the announced sequel to the horror game. Shared the announcement on Twitter to celebrate the game's 10-year anniversary. Quote, today I'm delighted to confirm on behalf of the team that a sequel to Alien Isolation is in early development. Hope explained, we look forward to sharing more details with you when we're ready. While he didn't provide any other details, logos on the announcement suggest the game will be developed by Creative Assembly and published by Sega, just like the first one. Alien Isolation was first released October 2014 and has been placed on many platforms over the years, including PC, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and mobile. It also received a web series adaptation in 2019, as well as a companion book in 2022. In GameSpot's Alien Isolation review, we said, quote, Alien Isolation provides us a glimpse into a future that holds the alien game you've always wanted. It's not, however, the vessel that carries you there. GameSpot also celebrated the game's milestone by looking back at why it was so divisive amongst fans and critics. While it's unclear when the sequel to Alien Isolation will release, fans can enjoy a new movie from the franchise in Alien Romulus in the meantime. There's also a new TV series called Alien Earth set to air in 2025. And that looks to be the end of the article. So yeah, Alien Romulus, I'm going to make an Alien tier list as part of my Halloween tier list kind of marathon thing I've been doing. But not to spoil that too much, but Alien Romulus kicks ass. Okay, Alien Romulus is sick. And I'm excited for the new TV show Alien Earth. I think that has a lot of great potential, and I'm excited to see what they do with that. It's an interesting setting for sure, considering, to my knowledge, the Xenomorph has never set foot on Earth before. Outside of Alien vs. Predator, of course. But, yeah, so, I mean, the Alien franchise is in a pretty good spot right now, in my opinion. And just like any franchise, you're going to have people that love and hate the new adaptations. But as far as my understanding goes, like from what I've seen, the reception for Romulus was relatively positive. Like a majority positive. And something I want to touch on that this article mentions is like, where is it? They said, it's not the vessel that carries you there. Talking about how the game is what some fans want and saying that it was, so divisive amongst fans and critics. And it was divisive for, a few reasons. And I'm not going to lie. Back in the day, I used to be, a shill for these companies and these, properties I liked. So I would ignore all criticism. But looking back on some of the criticism and reading new, reviews or seeing even new reviews on the game, I can admit that some of those criticisms are still baffling to me that they even exist, but some of them are fair. For example, the characters. I think the characters are likable, Ripley and the crew, but they don't really have much like depth or substance. You don't really get to get that with them. And granted, it is a survival horror game, so it's like you pick and choose, but for example, Resident Evil 7 did it very well where, you cared about those characters and it was a survival horror game. It's doable. It is possible. Another criticism I saw was, very repetitive gameplay and, a lot of circling back and double tracking and whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about. Which is also fair because, with the game, there's a lot of areas you visit and then you revisit and you have to come back when you have a proper tool and then you get that tool. Or the gameplay itself is repetitive because you have to, for example, you have to restart the generator and then, oh no, as soon as you get that long task done, something else breaks and then you have to fix that. The whole game is like a fixing simulator, which Ripley is an engineer in the game. So again, I mean, it's kind of fair, but at the same time, I definitely see the criticisms. I understand them. I'm thinking about replaying it on stream if that's something you guys would be interested in. Let me know in the comments below. But either way, I get the criticisms. I understand why people, why it was divisive. But I think if any game deserves a sequel, it is Alien Isolation. This article mentions it. Sure, Alien Isolation gave us a glimpse, and it was not the vessel that carries you there to, be in the alien game you've always wanted. But that's the thing. It gives you that glimpse. It shows you what they could do, and that they can do it if, given updates in technology and time and the fact that they know they can nail it. all things considered, even with those criticisms, this game is a success, a giant success. Especially when you look at the competition in the field for Alien games, like based in that universe. I mean, this one has so much attention to detail, so much care. They they looked at everything from the first movie and tried to mimic it as close as possible. They got down to the sounds. To my understanding, they hired the one of the original like art directors or costume designers or something on that to get the alien right. So when the alien is in this game, it looks like the guy in the suit. It looks like the first one. And it's details like that that can be overlooked, but in my opinion, were not overlooked by the fans. Like, they appreciated that in this. And I think that's awesome that you could see that and that they know that, because now going into the sequel, they could be like, okay, well, we know they appreciated this and we know they liked it. Let's make sure we get that right again and build from there. Let's look at what we did wrong and fix that, because this seems like a team that really cares about the IP it's adapting and cares about the fans. So I feel like they're not going to take that criticism to heart. I don't think they're going to be like, well, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Like other game studios, they'll be like, well, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, no, maybe we could do that better. And maybe you're right. You guys are the fans. You know what you want. So let's give it to you. So yeah, I'm hoping that's what they do here. I'm hoping that's what it is. I don't know. I want it to be good so bad that, I'm willing to kind of hear anything out. Hear some updates as soon as possible. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat waiting for this, and I cannot wait, because I hope I'm in a spot where I have the time and the setup to play this for you guys and stream it. But until then, I could always stream the first one and play it for you. I have streamed bits and pieces, but I've always stopped because, number one, I don't know if that's what people would want to watch, especially so long after the fact, like 10 years later. But also, it's the fact of like I said, I've already completed the game, so I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be false and be like, well, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's supposed to. Oh no, like no, I know. What's gonna happen. And granted, it's been a long time since I've played it and beaten it, but especially the beginning, I'm very familiar with it. So yeah, I mean, if that's something you guys would like to see, let me know. If you like what I had to say, feel free to tear me a new one if you didn't. But yeah, I'm gonna keep my thumb on the pulse for this game and any developments related to it, because like I said, I think this is amazing news. I have not been this hyped for a game announcement in a while. So yeah, like I said, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to what I have to say. I will see you guys in the next one, and I'm looking forward to keep producing content until Alien Isolation 2 releases and I could be a little bitch on stream for you guys, so you could see how the process works in real time.